So I'll just take you through the pressings function of the Marksman pump. So we'll go into the pressing screen. Now, what you can see here is that you can pre-program in your free run in litres per tonne and your pressings in litres per tonne. And depending on how many tonnes you put into your press, it will work out how many litres it will need to achieve your free run volume. Now, it's important to note that you can actually run this phase before you know how many tonnes are in your press. So if I start the pump running now, it will automatically run, counting the litres, and then once you program in the tonnes, it will then calculate the free run and notify you when it's time to change over. So while it's in pressing mode, the pump is running from these level sensors. So we have a low level, a mid level and a high level sensor. The mid level sensor will control the pump with the variable speed. So the slider on the screen tells the pump what speed to run at. But if the pump is running too slow and it hits the high level sensor, it will switch across to the high speed setting, which is set at 90 at the moment. This cable connects directly to the pump, which you would normally keep next to your press juice tray anyway. And once we say enable pressing mode, the pump will then be controlled by these level sensors. So we'll put this into the tub now, and you'll see when the middle sensor goes up, the pump will run. And because it hit the high speed sensor, it switched across to the 90. Now the pump will turn on and off automatically. If it goes below the bottom sensor, it will actually stop the pump. And when it hits the middle probe again, it will run at the variable speed. Now, for this demonstration, I will use 1 tonne as the press weight. And you can see that it's calculated out 300 litres as your free run volume. Now if we go and have a look in our main parameters, there's the press warning volume, which is set at 60 litres at the moment. So once the free run volume gets to 240 litres, it will sound a warning alarm which notifies you that your pressings or your free run volume is about to be reached, and that it's time to get prepared to switch over to your pressing tank. So there's our warning beep, and when the pump hits 300 litres, it will sound an alarm notifying us that it's time to switch over. Now this alarm will keep going until such time as it's switched over. So we've acknowledged it on the screen. You can see now that we're in pressings mode, and it's actually adjusted the calculation because we went a few litres over on the free run, so it's adjusted for it with the pressings to 178 litres. So at 118 litres, it will give us our warning sound again. Now we've reached our free run volume. So we acknowledge that, and we're into our post pressings or our hard pressings. Now, at any point in time you can pause the pump if you need to change over hoses and you don't want the pump running. Now, if we say that we've finished our run now, what has happened now is the alarm is going off because the pump wasn't running, it had hit the high level sensor and had been there for more than 5 seconds. So the pump was letting us know that the juice tray was potentially going to overfill. So if we exit pressing mode now, we can go in and store the history on this job. So we'll leave the job description as it is. For the tank, we might change it to P1. Continue. You can select your username from the list, or you can manually enter it. And if we go into our history now, you'll see that there's a pressing function down the bottom. At this time and this day, David transferred 687 litres in the pressing mode. 325 litres were free run, 200 litres were pressings, and 160 litres were hard pressings. So that is the pressing function of the Marksman pump.